Awesome. We're gonna get right into it. I have Cooper here joining me today. He's gonna be here to potentially roll call as a seller today, as well as ask questions as we talk through best practices for going after listings with calling. And so with with my first question is, has anyone here done the Lazy Man CMA for the Tom Ferry Challenge? This has been basically the goal of this has been going on Zillow, looking up their estimate, and then reaching out to a potential listing and just basically sending them a screenshot of their estimate as a CMA to potentially give them a hook for starting a conversation. What we're going to be doing is very, very similar to this, and except it's going to be in a call fashion. What we're going to do is we're going to start by going on Zillow, looking up the prospect's property, finding out their estimate. We're then gonna follow this up with jumping on a phone call, going after the prospect. But instead of going after the prospect and just telling them like, hey, are you still looking to sell? Hey, are you curious about the value of your home? You're gonna instantly give them a value add by letting them know right away that you have a rough estimate of what their home value is looking at. And so we're gonna jump on the call here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna say, hey, Cooper.
Yeah.
And the intention of this here is you're greeting them like they're someone you know. I'm not jumping on the call right here and saying, hey, is this Cooper? Or hey, I'm looking for Cooper right now. Because instantly what that's gonna tell the prospect is this is a sales call, and this person doesn't even actually know me. No, like we know the people that we're working with, maybe. At least we want, that's our intention. And so I'm gonna jump on and say, hey, Cooper.
How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
Good.
Cooper, I was seeing, we were connected a year back by HomeLight, and I was seeing that you were potentially looking at selling your property, but I never saw that it went to market. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, we've thrown it back and forth.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna mention my source, because I'm gonna name drop my source here, and to give myself some credit, to give myself some clout here, and to potentially hook the client. If they're a Zillow lead, I'm gonna say Zillow. If they're a Fast Expert, I'm gonna say Fast Expert. Whatever their source is, I wanna name that right away so that they remember where they inquired on. If they inquired on Pemberton Homes, let's use that as our first name drop. But really, right now, we're trying to drive interest, and realistically, more people have heard of Zillow or HomeLight than Pemberton Homes. And so by associating yourself with the company that they've been looking for homes on or looking for evaluations on, you're able to instantly hook the person and give some status in their head for who you are. And so right there, that's the intro part of the call. Now I'm gonna say, now they're mentioning, yeah, we didn't end up listing it, is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cooper, before this call, I actually looked up the property quick, got a rough estimate of what the property could be worth. Does that interest you at all?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to know what it'd be worth.
Yeah, and like I said, this is just a rough estimate of what I'm looking for, but I found that we're looking at roughly 374 thousand for the estimate of the home. And so right after this, I'm gonna let them know the value of their home. I'm gonna go right into my first question. And this is the first question that I want everyone to write down here. I'm gonna ask, hey, in hearing the value of this home, like, do you feel like this is too high, too low, or just about right?
It's a little lower than what we were expecting.
Okay. Were there any improvements made to the home since you moved in?
We've remodeled both our bathrooms.
Remodeled both the bathrooms. Well, I can understand how that would add to the value of the home. And so by asking this question of too high, too low, or just right, it allows me to lead the conversation here and allows me to take control. If it's too low, I'm then able to jump in and ask questions about like, hey, have you made any improvements to the home? They get to start talking about their property. And then from there, if they haven't made any adjustments to the home, this is what I'm gonna say. Hey, Cooper, I just did this estimate looking through some rough comps in the area. If it would be of value to you, I'd actually love to swing by and do an in-person valuation of the home to get a much more accurate value of the home for you. Would that be of interest to you? Would that be of value to you?
Yeah, we could talk a little bit more about that.
Okay. Yeah, and here I'm gonna go right into my second question. And Cooper, if there was the option to sell your home off market and it made financial sense, would you be interested in taking a look at an offer? Right there, that's my second question that I'm asking people. And I'm gonna repeat that one more time. Hey, if there was the opportunity to sell your home off market and it made financial sense, would you be interested in taking a look at an offer? And here, this is really the goal of this question is just to drive interest right now. It's to potentially give them a little bit of a hook that, you know, maybe we're selling their home off market, maybe we're not, but we're showing that we have options for our team. And we're showing, and even the question of like, hey, are you against taking a look at an offer? Like, well, I mean, I don't know how many people wouldn't be interested in at least hearing about an offer. And so that's question 2. So, yeah, hey Cooper, if there was the opportunity to sell your home off market and it made financial sense, would you be interested in taking a look at an offer?
Yeah, it'd be pretty silly not to at least talk about it a little bit more if it made financial sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And here I'm going into question 3. And if you were to move, where would you go?
That's what we haven't really talked through as much. We kind of know that selling's the easy part, and then obviously on the other side of the coin, it's a little more difficult on the buy side.
Mm-hmm. And well, tell me a little bit about what you would be interested in. Are you looking at the same area?
Yeah, similar areas to where we are now, but we would like to upgrade our yard space a little bit more, and then a little bit more basement square footage would be ideal as well.
So this third question, what it allows me to do is find out if they're a potential buyer as well. We know they're a seller, but maybe they're looking to buy out of state. Maybe they're looking to buy closer to here. If they are buying locally, well, you're going to be their agent. And so from there, we're finding out what they're looking for, what kind of property interests them, and then navigating the conversation from there. This script it's very general, it's very broad, but what it does is it will drive interest, and prospects who would normally just kind of hang up the phone immediately if you say, hey, do you want to list your home with me? It's gonna get them to open up more about their situation. You're gonna find out, and at the end, it's gonna get them closer to making what feels like a big step, a small step. And so those are the 3 questions I recommend navigating through. And that is you're providing a home valuation and you're asking them, hey, is that too high, too low, or just about right? The next question is, hey, if there is not the option to sell your home off market and it made financial sense, you're not talking about interest rates, you're not talking about the exact price, you're just saying if it made financial sense, would you be interested in taking a look at an offer? Very simple, very down to earth. And then the last question, and the last question we have here is, yeah, and if you were to make a move, where would you go? And so those are the 3 questions. I ran through it here with Cooper a little bit just to show a little bit about what that looks like. But I would love to open up to any questions, any feedback of what people are experiencing on calls with potential sellers, or any questions.
If no one else on Zoom has one, what's kind of your tone that you're going in to the conversation with? Like, curious? Are you more, straight to the point with it? How are you navigating the tone of your voice?
Great question. I'm wanting to move my tone around a lot throughout the conversation. For example, question 2 is very curious, very slowed down pace, and I'm asking, hey, Cooper, I know this might sound crazy, dot, dot, dot. And I don't even know if this would be something that you're interested in, but if there was the opportunity to even sell your home off market and it made financial sense, would you be interested in taking a look at an offer? I'm slowing it down, I'm putting curiosity into the tone versus like with the initial question of question one of, hey, just wondering what you thought of the value. Was it too high, too low, or just right? That's very like, it's very informative. Hey, like I just shared the value of your home. Are you thinking it's too high, too low, or just about right? And so a very matter of fact tone. And so, yeah, tonality is key when it comes to cold calls, especially since you can't be face to face, you can't be showing facial expressions, you can't be talking with your hands. And so it really isolates it down to what can you do to come across the best with your tonality on the phone. Great question.
Makes sense.
Does anyone else have any questions? I want to post these here in the chat if anyone wants to copy them to their clipboard. But today may have been a pretty quick training, getting kind of straight to the point. But I hope everyone is able to take away these 3 questions, be able to flow through the script kind of straight to the point, and potentially generate some listings. On top of that, if anyone is looking to start calling after some listings, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to set you up with a call pond where we can start actually putting this to work here.
Hey, Joe, I got a tip on one of the other resources that I use aside from Zillow that I kind of think helps stand out a little bit more, because a lot of agents, and the Zillow does work, like grabbing that grab, but then I like to take it a step further and go into RPR and do a quick mini report there. I don't give them the full mini report, but it literally takes 5 minutes to go in there and do a mini report, and then you can really see a little bit better what the range looks like. And there's like a ton of data in there, and you can personalize it. And so I like to use that page as a screenshot, that first page, and then I'll bring that report with me when I go. That way it looks a little bit different than what a lot of other people are doing. So it's the same concept, but yet it's a different look. So it makes you look a little bit different.
I think this is a 10 out of 10 strategy. And I think even the more specific that more targeted that you can get with the evaluation, the better. People are gonna sometimes object, say, no, that's way off. Hey, and again, like your response to that is like, hey, this report was just generated by running local comps in the area. It's not actually taken into the account the actual it's not actually taken into the account the actual necessary value of the home. I would love to come take a look at the property to get an even more exact valuation for you, to be a resource to you. So I'm gonna post these questions in the chat. And I know Jim Lee was asking about the second question there. And then if nobody else has any questions, then we are good to go.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Amy. I'm glad you were able to make it on today.
Thanks,
I know,
Joe.
upside down for a little while there, but here I am now.
Hi, Amy.
Oh, how are you?
And I will actually just text you this list of questions to everyone here on the training instead of typing it out here, just to make it more convenient. Thanks for showing up, everyone. And again, if you're looking to start calling after potential listings, reach out to me. I'll set you up on the pond.
Thank you. Thanks, Cooper. You were a great